Let's go ahead and do it. Okay. Today is January 28th. It is Wednesday. Usually on Wednesdays, I have a later practice and early 8 a.m. So usually I'm able to trade more of the market. Unfortunately, I had academic meetings. Coach wanted everybody in one block on practice. So I had literally no time to check the markets. But that's fine. That means I get to come back here, do a little review session. I did see that the markets, pushed down, but don't know the technicalities behind how it did that. But coming to the 15-minute, I feel like I need to start using this more because my mistrade yesterday would have been perfect based on the 15-minute. So coming in, um, I saw that we opened super bullish overnight, right? Pushed up, okay. Saw some things, okay. Pushed, chopped, pushed down. We're not really closing above, so I'm like, okay, I feel like we're bearish. This doesn't look like top though, but I feel like uh for right now, obviously we're closing below this stuff, putting in low request, low resistance liquidity above, and we had a higher time frame change in the state. And so I'm thinking about, okay, where do I want, what am I looking for? I'm looking for possible that. We already rebalanced that range right there, like longs in there. That would have been great for London. But then again, you got to think about this whole whole move is okay, possible rebalance that. But right now, I'm seeing this is a soup at once, close below. Feel like market open could push up. I mean, we haven't we rebalanced it here. So I think these should hold, but I feel like everything else from then what this fractal on, we stop drawing the fibs. Yeah, some of them have gotten close. I feel like we need to possibly push up, but that's for market open to decide. Boom. So that's really kind of my target. Looking at this, pushing down 6912, seeing some of this pre-market. Oh shit. God, how did I accidentally click that? But what is this? This is 28 candle. Okay. So we push down, we swept some stuff. We're still kind of closing below. And so I like this fractal right here. We kind of chopped up, down, leaving a bunch of lower resistance. So looking for some of this to possibly get taken. Maybe not that, but I like some of this to then push it lower. So next candle is 30. Boom. What do we do? Big wicks to both sides. So we swept both sides. Granted, I'm assuming we swept higher. Higher for no, we swept lower, higher, close lower. That would be a great thing to note about because that's the next side we're looking for. So the next candle is going to reach to one of these sides. Okay. So that means we took high, then we took low. Now we're looking like we're closing high. This looks like could be changing the state after, big soup change state. This, as ugly as it seems, could be a decent right at market open entry. I know that I talk about a lot of market open stuff as possible entries and stuff, but I'll learn how to take these trades eventually. But oh, these aren't that big of candles. But it's like some of them can be scary. I like if you're in longs here. Okay, where am I looking? Stop loss. Honestly, once we get some closure above here, moving it up, break even pretty fast because I don't think that we're taking many highs. Looking at these two possible highs, rippage like that. Honestly, because I don't see us taking that high. Oh my god, let me put it this that high and that high would have been good. So we souped it. Okay, we souped it. We swept some highs. We rebalanced this right to here. Swept some liquidity. This is a prime area for shorts right here. Big turtle soup. Big. Okay, we got closure below. That could be a possible short entry right here. Only problem with this is then where's your stop loss? Technically, it has to go there, but if you're not liking that, uh, then you're kind of scalping this more then. So if you're finding an entry here, I'm looking for, obviously this low to get taken and then probably push it a little bit lower. Boom. Honestly, that how many points is this? 10. I mean, this is like, can I please? Boom. I mean, that was 30 points, 20 points from entry. That's pretty good. We did. That's another liquidity area. Let's check some zones. Okay. Oh, so that was okay, cool. Like that. Asia low, obviously. I mean, that's just another liquidity zone. Okay, we just barely tapped that. Could be partials, maybe stop to break even, whatever. Boom. Okay, pushing back up. Just retrace. Discount, get a soup and some other stuff. Okay, what are we doing? Huh. Well, we swept it again. Don't want to see closure, but okay. I was about to say don't want to see major closure above. But what do we do? Ah, it's been happening a lot. 945. Okay, so I could still trade that. Okay, that now looks like better, even more manipulation to push us lower. So what do? We push down, pushed up, swept internal liquidity. What do we do? Push down, swept more internal liquidity. Okay, boom. It's at market open, so really scalping until you see the real move. When is news? I know there's news this week. What is foxfactory.com? 2 p.m. Okay, so that could be the explanation. That's why it's a little bit more choppy. But what we push down, push back up, swept. Okay, now what am I looking for? I'm looking for either EQ if I believe the draw's higher, or I'm looking for the liquidity at least. And so honestly, that looks good. I like stop deleting the indicators. I like up here. I like this change in the state. If you see it, um, honestly, that's more of a time and knowledge based entry. But I like that. Oh my goodness! If you enter here, like we're not sweeping anything. We're not doing anything. We just melt through EQ. Yeah, we want some lows. Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay. Oh well, cool. We decided to chop again more. So obviously, if you're in, this should be at least a break even uh, for you, or taking partials at EQ possibly. That does look like manipulation, but until we get closure below this leg, this could get swept again for a 3 drive. I mean, pushed up, we swept that. Pushed down, we swept that. Closure above. So now it's possible that we take this high again, or that it holds. Okay, we lost the floor again there. Okay, so boom, another change in state. So if you got ticked out, break even, or you move your stop, you took a loss, or you took some partials, I still believe that that is the manipulation leg, and that the real draw is lower. So entering here again, filling up, adding more position sides. Damn, I would have been able to taken all of these because before 10. Wow. But then once that's not a soup up there, but like I said, once we break below, this is premium, this is EQ, we're messing around in this fair value gap. Just see what the bodies do. See what the bodies do. Swept. Okay, didn't sweep that again. Um, but the second we start to get closure lower like that. Okay. Yep, there we go. That explains more of the fractal. So we swept this down here. Boom, created a high. We left that high intact because we closed below and then we swept it again. Right? So that was protected since this change in the state happened. And that turtle soup pushed us up to take that or to put in that high, push down, change in the state. That should be protected then because that's should be EQ of that. Yep. An EQ in this, what is it, buy side imbalance, sell side imbalance, basically, fair value gap. So the fair value gap at EQ, we're holding that. So honestly, if you're late to the party, down here isn't the worst idea, but I'd like to catch a wick, right? So then we get some closure below. Okay. We took liquidity. What could we do? Push back to discount of this range. I don't think we do that, but yeah. But then, okay. Have we taken this yet? We did. So we took my first draw at least. Okay, we took liquidity back to what? Discount of this whole entire range. Boom. Push it up there. Swept it. Still holding, changing the state. Still like lower. I feel like we shouldn't really take that high because change of the state. We held it there. We swept it again. Another order block closure, but that's kind of in premium. But it did hold because look at that. That is the change of state. That's an order block right there. We're souping that. We're souping that. We held that. We souped this, and then we close below this. I want that low taken. Boom, took the low. That was the main draw for me was that low, and that got hit 10:30. And so now could really care less what price does, but into the next macro, still kind of pushing down. We kind of push it back up, discount. Yeah, now this is just, is that possible low? Could be, but these candles are just a little janky to look at. And so where do we end up? We ended up just kind of chopping lower. But you see how when I first marked it on the 15-minute, that okay, this was the main objective for me. And so if we didn't hit this objective or another objective, I would be looking for a trade around 130 to ride to the objective. But since we did take it, I'm not looking for a trade this afternoon, even though I didn't trade this morning. That is another order block that's being held souped. Closure below this. Where's the next low? I really want to see what about EQ of this. We're right about there, so this 15-minute setup playing out. I'm not taking it because where are we going? Where could be going? I don't know. Do I really care? I probably should, but you know, I mean, next week Wednesday will be a great day. I can stay on till super late. I can stay on uh pretty late, pretty much all of AM session, so that'll be good. And then my Tuesdays and Thursdays, I don't have a class in the morning, so everything's coming together, right? Just got to stack these days, stack uh, this momentum, stack these like ideas and getting better until it happens. And so, looking through here, um, this is kind of a later entry, but I mean, it did hit right there. I mean, there's technically two things, but I mean, market open a little bit harder to trade. Like, okay, push up, swap liquidity. Okay, looking for either EQ or other liquidity. Okay, we hit the other liquidity, or actually, I like that, marking that out, and then marking this out. Boom, swept up, took that liquidity again, change the state. Okay, boom. Could be trailing it, could be marking out EQ. Let's take more stuff in. Boom, push it back up. Hold this, held that, and so I'm like, that's really bearish. And then boom, this whole entire fractal pretty clean, except for the candles. But I mean, you go to IHC, boom, push down. We hit the objective. That's probably what I put in my take profit, and then you know trailed the runner. But overall, not a bad day for 2 p.m. news. So I will see you tomorrow. I don't know if I'll do a live recording or if I'll just do the review after I'm done trading, or maybe not until the afternoon like today. But it'll be out there, and I'll keep putting this stuff out. And if anybody, and as far as if anybody watches this video, you know, if it asks any questions, I just do this to remind myself and to better myself. Because speaking it out loud is much easier to change stuff on. Because I could have been like, oh, I could have been sulking about this. Could have looked at price. Oh, mark stuff out. Mark stuff out. That's not going to help me. Doing these back tests is what truly is going to help me and get me better. And like yesterday, where I was on the charts, I didn't take a trade, but I knew why. And so I went back, and I explained it. And so now it's in my mind. Okay, I gotta look for that. I gotta look for 15-minute. Boom, boom, boom. Because I mean this. I mean this hit right. We put in the low. Okay, push back up to discount inside this imbalance. That's what the 15-minute does. Is we took this internal liquidity. We took liquidity. What are we doing? Pushing it back to discount or to take other liquidity? Okay, boom, back to discount. Boom. Then we slammed it down. So that's all I got for today. And oh, today was also the first day of my new college classes. Love my econ class. Professor's great, and attendance is not really checked, but there's no slides. It is all in person, and he's like, if you got something better to do in the morning, go do that. He does not care, and that's great for me. Who is going to be traveling for meets on Fridays a lot because it is a Friday morning class. I just gotta hope my calculus class is also that way. But econ's an easy class. Calc already took senior year of high school, so it should be smooth sailing. And then I got a like sustainable systems in society class, some like environmental class. I have it with the teammate, so we'll see. So already, I kind of yapped at the end for a little while, but you know, already, I will see you later.